Welcome to psychometric.com. Today we will look at aptitude test for the Bank of Ireland. First of all, the Bank of Ireland is one of the leading banks in Ireland, offering financial services such as accounts, loans, and mortgages, and it applies aptitude tests in its admission process because it needs to objectively assess key skills such as numerical reasoning, verbal reasoning, and decision-making ability. These tests allow you to screen candidates in a standardized way and verify if they have the necessary competencies to work in a banking environment before moving on to the next stage of the hiring process. What do the aptitude tests of the Bank of Ireland consist of? These tests normally include logical reasoning tests, verbal reasoning tests, and numerical reasoning tests. They may include other types of tests depending on the position you are applying for at the bank, but the most typical ones are the three I mentioned at the beginning. And how to pass these aptitude tests? Obviously by practicing beforehand, since facing an exercise for the first time is not the same as having done it before. And with that being said, point 2, learn tips and tricks to do them faster. You can learn all of this in our course. There you can find tests in PDF and also online, and we will look into all of this in depth. Now let's look at 10 example exercises. Exercise 1. If 15% of a number is 9, what is 120% of that number? In this exercise, one would have to guess which number has 15% equal to 9. Then, once we have that number, we would need to see what number results if we apply 120% to it. That is, if we apply it in formula terms, it would be 0.15 of x, where x is the number we want to guess, is equal to 9. Or in other words, what number multiplied by 0.15 gives us 9? If we solve for x, we have 9 divided by 0.15, which leaves us with a total of 60. And now they tell us what is 120% of this number of 60. That is, if we add 20% of 60 to 60, what number do we have? And this is the same as doing this. 1.20 times 60 is equivalent to the number 72. And here, one way to do it faster would be to do it by approximation. That is, if we know that 15% of a number is 9, how much would 100% be? Well, if we divide 100 by 15, it's approximately 6 point something, roughly. So we multiply 9 by 6 point something, it would give us about 50 something. And if at 50 something we apply a 20% increase, the only suitable and possible response would be option B. This way, if we are ready, we can solve it in 10, 15, 20 seconds instead of doing all these calculations, which can take away 2-3 minutes. And I haven't mentioned it, but in this type of aptitude test, time is a fundamental factor. Because if in this type of test they give us 1 hour to complete them, we can all do them. The problem is the time. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. Moving on to exercise number 2. If a soccer player is defined by the goal, then what is the equivalent term for a basketball player? We see that for a soccer player, the objective is the goal, so we have to look among the answer choices to find what the objective of a basketball player is. Therefore, if a soccer player's objective is to score a goal, the objective of a basketball player is to score a basket, so option A would be the correct answer. Let's move on to exercise 3. If a transport company is tasked with moving 306 tons from point A to point B, and they have 2 trucks with a capacity of 8 tons each, plus 1 smaller truck with a capacity of 2 tons, exactly how many individual one-way trips must the company make in order to complete the task? Here they tell us that we have 2 trucks with a capacity of 8 tons each, so it would be a total of 16 tons between those two. and there is another truck that can carry out a 2-ton trip. That is to say, 18. In each trip, 18 tons can be transported, and we have to reach transporting 306. Which answer option, when multiplied by 18, gives us 306? Or we can also divide 306 directly by 18. What's the fastest way to do this? With decimals, it's impossible because you won't make half a trip or a quarter of a trip. These two options are already discarded. Now we need to know if it's 17 or 19. How can we do it quickly without having to perform the entire operation? Just multiply the last digit. That is, 8 times 9 is 72, ends in 2, so it cannot be. And 8 times 7 is 56, it ends in 6, so it could be. So the answer must be option A. The other option would be to divide 306 by 18, which can also be done, but it's a bit slower. Let's move on to exercise number 4. How much money does the production of rice, oatmeal, and cocoa from Farm A and of wheat, corn, and rice from Farm B amount to? That is, from Farm A, we need rice, oats, and cocoa. And Farm B is asking us for wheat, corn, and rice. And now we have to multiply the kilograms of what they ask us for by its price. That is 5,000 kilograms of rice by $3, 50 kilograms of cocoa by $50, 1,500 kilograms of oats by $1.50. Perform the entire operation and that's it. This exercise is about attention to detail, about administrative capacity, which is really simple. The thing is, it takes a long time, and you have to be careful not to make a mistake with any number, because if you do, it ruins the exercise for us. If we were given an hour to do this exercise and to review it and so on, practically no one would fail. The problem here is that they give us this exercise along with 20 others, and maybe you only get 30 minutes. So you have to rush, and that's where the mistakes happen. You have to work very efficiently. So it would be 5,000 kilos of rice times 3, which would equal 15,000. 1,500 kilos of oatmeal per its price, 1.5, equals 2,250. The cocoa would be 50 by 50, 2,500. And all of this, if we add it up, gives us a total of 19,750. This would be Farm A. Now we would have to calculate Farm B and add everything up. Farm B would be 10 tons per 2.5, 10 tons of weight for 2.5 its value. That would end up amounting to 25,000. Since 10 tons is 10,000 kilograms, then it would be 500 kilograms of corn. 500 times 0.8. That brings the total to 400. And then the cost of rice would end up being 12,000, or perhaps it could be 12 tons. For 3, which is the price, it would be 36,000. If we add 25,000 plus 36,000 plus 400, we get 61,400. And if we were to add 61,400 to 19,750, we can see the result is going to be approximately 80,000. So there is no need for us to even bother calculating the exact sum, which means the answer must be option D. As you can see, this is a fairly simple and straightforward exercise. Here the only bad thing is the rush, making a mistake with any number. Then we ruin the task. And as I said, since there is little time, we barely have time to review the task, and then it can make us fail. Let's move on to task number 5. determine the letter that continues the series 71H96055J42, and it asks for the letter. If you have done more exercises of this type before, you will know that usually numbers go with numbers and letters with letters, although sometimes they have a certain relationship between them. Letter series are usually encoded by their position in the alphabet. So that is to say, if we do it, H is in position 8 in the alphabet, O is in position 15 in the alphabet, J is in position 10 in the alphabet. So, knowing this, we can see the logic that if we add 7 plus 1, we get 8. If we add 9 plus 6, we get 15. If we add 5 plus 5, we get 10. Here we need to add 4 plus 2, 6. We need to find the letter that is in position 6 of the alphabet. In this case, it would be option C, F. Let's move on to exercise 6. Choose the option that completes the series. Here we have a square with the number 7 inside, a triangle with a 6, a circle with a 4, a pentagon with an 8. So we have to guess which shape and number continue the series. Here, if you want, you can pause the video and try to solve it yourselves. As you do more exercises, you'll get the typical logic of this type of exercise. But here, it's a good idea to note, for example, the number of sides. In this case, the square has 4 sides, the triangle has 3, the circle has 1, and the pentagon has 5. And if we notice, if we add 3 to the number of sides, it always gives us the interior number. That is 4 sides plus 3, 7, 3 sides plus 3, 6, 1 side plus 3, 4, and 5 sides plus 3, 8. So, it must be an option that when you add 3 to the number of sides, it matches. Here, for example, we have 4 sides plus 3, 7. Zone D would be valid. We can leave the others alone. This would be 1 plus 3, 4. This would be wrong. This would be 6 sides plus 3, 9. It would be wrong. This would be 8 sides plus 3, 11. It would also be wrong. The correct answer would be option A. Now let's move on to exercise number 7. Find the value of k in the following equations. Here it will be necessary to reduce the number of unknowns using different methods of solving equations. It could be reduction, substitution, etc. Anyone who remembers basic high school math theory will be able to solve this exercise without any problems. Here, for example, a simple way to solve and isolate j would be to move 3h here, subtracting. So this makes us eliminate both, and we end up with 30 equals 5j. And j is equal then to 30 divided by 5 equals 6. We already have the letter j, but they are asking for the letter k. So this would be 60 because it is 10 times 6. Equals 10 plus 2k. And if we take the 10 to the other side, it would be 50 divided by 2. 25, k equals 25. The answer is option D. Let's move on to exercise 8. Choose the word that is the suitable synonym for the underlined term in the following sentence. The decision of the CEO to merge the two departments was paramount for the company's success during the crisis. Here we have to find which word among the answer options is the best substitute for the word paramount. We have option A, secondary, option B, essential, option C, beneficial, and option D, unexpected. Paramount would be something like fundamental. We need to see which word is the closest in meaning to paramount in this context, whether it's option A, secondary, option B, essential, option C, beneficial, or option D, unexpected. In this case, it would be option B, essential. The word paramount is used to describe something of the utmost importance, something that is supreme or superior to everything else. In the context of the sentence, the CEO's decision was not just good, but was the key or fundamental factor for the company's success during the crisis. Let's move on to exercise 9. A store has a promotion where customers get a 5% discount for each letter in their name. If Alice buys a television that costs €948, how much will she pay? Here, first of all, we need to know what discount they are going to give to Alice. If they give 5% for each letter, Alice has 5 letters, so she would get a 25% discount. So you would have to give a 25% discount to 948. There are several ways to solve this, using the rule of 3, using multiplications. Multiply, for example, 948 by 0.25, and then we subtract the discount there. But here the fastest way would be to work by approximation. That is, roughly 948 can be said to be close to 1,000. Not entirely, but close. So 25%, if it were 1,000, would pay 750, but it should be a bit less because it's 948, so it should be something like 700 something. If we look at it, there is only one answer option, that is 700 and a bit, which would be option A. This way of solving it is the most logical and quick way to do it. And as I have said on several occasions, time is essential. This is an exercise that, if we are given a lot of time, everyone can solve it, but the key here is to get more time than others, to have more time to solve more exercises. If we start solving it this way, for example, 948 is 100%. X is 75. We can also do 75 times 948 divided by 100. Yes, you can do it, and in the end it will be fine, but it takes you 3 minutes. The way I said I can solve it in 30 seconds. It seems silly, but if you do this in 5 exercises, it will make a difference in the test. Alright, let's move on to the final exercise. Identify the figure that is the same as the given one. It should be noted here that we need to find the shape that, when rotated this way or that way, matches the reference given to us. The best way to solve it is to find patterns. For instance, we see that this mouth here would be this mouth here, and if we look closely, the tip almost touches here, up to this triangle here, and here we see how it's much higher. The mouth should reach almost to here, and it reaches here, so option A would be incorrect. Option B is quite rotated, so it's quite difficult to rule out, so we can look at the 2 options to see if we can rule them out faster. For example, by looking at this picture and this one, we can find that this mouth matches with this mouth. This mouth matches with this mouth, and this mouth here, which is quite large, matches with this mouth here, which in this case is very small, so option C is also ruled out. And only option D would remain, which if we look, for example, at this mouth here, which would be the reference mouth, never going to be able to have the mouth here since it is flipped like a mirror. The correct image would be option B, where this mouth corresponds to this mouth with this mouth, and so on. Here in this case, as you have seen, the way to correct it is to try to find clear references in the reference image, where we can rely and look for differences between answer options. Well, we've reached the end. If you want to access more aptitude tests for the Bank of Ireland, you can sign up for our course. There you have access to online and PDF tests, a section with tips and advice, and a multitude of resources that will allow you to get one step ahead of others. I hope I've helped you, and we look forward to seeing you in the course. Best regards.